blow right in here in my window. Little tiny grains of sand.
Yeah, they put it in. And we started noticing it maybe a month ago.
Yeah, I'd say about a month and a half ago, yeah.
Yeah.
And you thought it was snow.
As snow. But then when Rock and Dale were talking about it, then I called, what's his name? McMahon, Steve McMahon?
Scotty McManus.
Yeah,
Scott McManus.
yeah, Scott, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
did they get a hold of you? I don't
Right,
know.
yeah, actually, I got a hold, I took pictures and pasted on Facebook, and then I told Notchka Hunk about it. And then Notchka Hunk, he talked to Randy Palma and Scott McManus, and then Scott McManus went over to see them at the mine that following Monday. And that's when they said that the DNR was gonna look into it and that they're gonna do what they can do. But I requested that they at the very least clean it up because it looks terrible. It's more like silty water than it is clear water. It's so
Like where it was swamp.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing back there for the last 3-4 years, and then now it's just like it's like a river back there when I first went back there, and because I walked the ice had to be in at least this thick. I walked to the edge and it didn't crack or nothing, and then the rest was all just like a regular river. I'd say it had to have been at least between 15 and 20 feet wide, and it was a regular river running through it at the time. And it was a kind of a quick flowing river that looked really full of silt. You could just see the sand moving with the water.
With the water
Right.
coming when it was coming.
Right, and then I took pictures and pasted on Facebook, and you could see, as far as you could see this way, it was a regular river, and as far as you could see to the west, it was a regular river coming in of wastewater. That's all I could describe it as, because there was no way it was ever any kind of water that I would dare drink. The sad part is that, you know what, we have our religious grounds here, and that's what really worries me, is that, I mean, not to mention, say there's a bunch of people here and it turns into a case of mass malaria or something to that effect with all the mosquitoes, because the mosquito population is bad back here, but with the water running like that, or
It's
even
gonna
just
be-
settling,
Yeah.
it'll turn into something really major.
Yeah.
And, I know.
And the same thing with the deers, they're worried now
Right.
with their water.
Go ahead.
My name is Bill Greendeer. I'm at the Greendeer homestead. Our property line is off to the right, probably 40, 50 feet. This here is the spill site. We have white residue on the leaves. If you look at the leaves, we've got white residue, and we have gray residue with sand particles on it. From the mine that's operated by Gerke. And as you can see, I'm standing on the ice. There should not be any ice right now, this time of the year. This is the date is April, I believe it's the 12th or 13th. But this is still very rare to see this much ice in an area where we usually don't have ice this time of year. We're going to be walking down through here. The tribal land, actually, Gerke's is through the woods about a quarter of a mile. And so you see it's really stretched all the way through. We'll be walking all the way down through the tribal land here, seeing just how wide it is. We're going to try to do some measurements on how wide we've got this area. But as you can see, it starts back in here and it goes all the way across into the trees over here. So that's at least 50 yards wide so far. We've got probably, I'd say, about a good 40 acres square here. Okay. on the ice, we probably got 50, 60 feet up into the woods where there's still actually white residue all the way through the trees. And off to the other side, we've got ice and residue up the trees at least about a foot. So this must have really been something maybe about a couple weeks ago. We got pictures of that. Okay, now if you will look at this here, we have something floating in the water that is not normal. If you can see the swirls, the white, this is not just plain sand. There's something going on in this water, and it's settling down, but it's all over the place. I'm seeing it in all the water that's running down back here in the woods. We're probably 150 yards from the beginning of the property, and we still got probably about another 100 yards to go. And if you look down, we got gray residue again here on the leaves. We're standing on about, if you will look at, we're probably about a foot of ice. There's something going on with this ice that just is strange. I'm just amazed at whatever this is floating to the east. So it's coming, more is coming onto the property. I don't know if it's from the melting or whatever it is, it's not looking very healthy. Okay, if you look across this way, up through the woods here, we've got this area all the way across to the other area. It's over 100 yards wide. That's all frozen. We've got some water running through it, and the water's got white residue kind of floating around it, looking like bleach water almost, and it looks amazingly strange. We've got a ways to go yet, but it is actually a really wide area now.
How many acres do you think?
Well, we've got, I'd say just in the area that's been, from what I can see, we've walked probably about an acre wide to about maybe 2 acres wide, and so far it's like about 100 yards wide here in this area. I guess I'm looking at this stream. I've always seen the stream in the springtime. I grew up here through these woods, and I've always seen the water run through here, but the snow is usually gone by now, for one. All of a sudden we got snow and ice. The water has got a yellowish white residue floating through it. I've been here all my life, and I've never seen anything like this at all. It's pretty scary. We're just still about 50 yards from the property line. I'm hearing a little bit of toads, but there are no birds, and it's really strange. I've always seen squirrels running around this time of the day. I haven't seen one squirrel yet. So I'm a little worried about what's going on with the water out here.